Good morning, everyone. My name is Shirley, and I am the MC for our Minister Appreciation Service Day. We will begin with the ringing of the temple bell, or Kansho, that signifies the beginning of a temple service. It is a deep and sacred ritual steeped in the ancient tradition. It is a calling of the people to come together to listen to the Dharma teachings. The temple bell represents the gratitude and deep appreciation of the members, friends, and guests of the Windward Buddhist temple. Please sit quietly in your seat. Today's service will be conducted by the Windward Buddhist Temple Certified Minister Lay Assistant, or the CMLAs. These people are Keiji Kukino, Dennis Tashiro, Jennifer Kane, Prudence Kusano, Cynthia Rodriguez, and me. If you're able to, please rise for the meditation, followed by the chanting of the Vandana Ti-Sarana by the congregation in Pali and English in the red Jodo Shinshu service book on page 7. Please be seated. Today's sutra is Sanbutsuge. A brief description of the sutra is, found in the larger sutra, the Bodhisattva Dhammakara praises the Lokevara Raja Buddha and expresses his desire to become the Amida Buddha, and makes 48 vows, thus establishing the Pure Land. While chanting, we join together in oneness with Dhammakara's aspiration to attain Buddhahood and work for the enlightenment of all beings. Please turn to the red Jodo Shinshu service book for our chanting of Sanbutsuge on page 46.
Kogen gigi iji mugoku nyozemyo muyo tosha nichigatsumani shukohen yo kaishitsu onpe yunyaku jumoku nyorai yogen chose murin shogaku daio koru jippo kaimo shojin samai chie itokumuryo shushoke ujin taizene shobutsu hokai gujin jin no kugo gai kai mumyo yokuno seson yomuni no shishi jintokumuryo kukun kodai chie jimyo komyo iso shindo dai senganga sabu daisho kado shoji mifuge datsu fuse joi kai ni shojin nyoze samai chie jogo se tokubu fugyo shiga isai kuku isadai ankeshi shubu yakusen no kumamuryo daisho shunyo ojakuyo isai shito shobu funyo gudo kensho fugyaku hinyo goja shobutsu sekai bufu kage mushu setsu dokomyo shisho henshisho koku nyoze shojin ijin nan yo byoga sabu kokudo daiichi gushu kimyo dojo seiretsu kokunyo nayon minuto so kato aimin dodatsu isai jippo raisho shinnetsu shoujo ito gakko keraku ano kobutsu shinyo zega shinsho hotsugan no hi rikishu shoyoku jippo seson Chiemuge Ryojo Shiso Shigan Yoiko Keryo Shishi Shokoku Doku Chu Gagyo Shojin Nizu
If you're able to, please rise for the recitation Golden Chain of Love in the same book on page 126. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Buddha's golden chain of love be strong, and may we all retain perfect peace. Please continue to stand for the Gatha Hotokesama 2 in the praises of the Buddha book on page 74. Page 74. seated. Our speaker today is our member, Jennifer Kane.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Please join me in aspiration. We take refuge in Amida Buddha, whose wisdom and compassion is so complete that we are known and accepted just as we are. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Have you noticed that life tends to get lived in route? Same o, same o. We just go along with the normalcy and the status quo. Then we say things like, wow, how time flies. How can it be possibly nearing the end of the year already? When events happen, whether they be a health crisis for yourself or a loved one, or a financial setback, or a death, then we say things like, I need to pay more attention, or I need to make more time for my friends and my family. Or, I should have, ... Well, fill in the blank, because we all do that. Certainly some more than others, but we all tend to do that. We all have those moments where we should ourselves. Maybe that would be a good New Year's resolution. I'm going to practice and be aware of when I should myself, and then rephrase it with compassion towards myself. Well, honestly, I don't set New Year's resolutions, but maybe I should. Oops, I just should myself. I think that's just a minor incident. This has been an interesting and challenging couple of years for me, and it is still challenging, to be quite honest. What's interesting is that I've been able to observe myself much of the time as I've worked through, avoided, or just flat out procrastinated in the face of many changes and challenges, some hardships, and needing to make decisions or to take action. I've even said to myself that I don't know what's up with me. I've observed this removed, checked out person who was functioning, but just seemed to be sort of not participating really in my own life. I was a bit thankful that I was experiencing life this way and not freaking out, but I questioned whether I was being mature with challenges by not feeling dramatic or emotional, or maybe I was just a bit depressed. I really don't know. I like thinking that maybe I'm getting older and wiser, and I don't need to freak out about everything so much. But then something happens, and I don't respond as this wiser, mature person that I'd like to think I am. Oh, maybe this is just life. It's a bumpy road. And some things are easier to ride along with, while others seem much less smooth, and some of those bumps can really shake us up. And sometimes that self-judgy part of ourselves starts again with the should-haves. Well, I was finally able to walk through a very trying time of having to make a really tough decision last June. My little 18-and-a-half-year-old dog, Tucker. He'd not been doing so well for a couple of years. Progression was obvious, and it was time to let him go. But I couldn't. During the first half of the year, I made and canceled 3 appointments to have him euthanized. He was ready, but I was not. I talked myself into seeing a glimmer of hope, and I tell myself that he was a little better today, and then I'd cancel another appointment. And I was shoulding myself constantly, back and forth. When I finally really did decide, it was actually a bittersweet experience. My daughter and my son were able to be there, and there was so much love. I picked a different clinic than his regular vet, and it ended up being the best decision I could have made. There was a flood of synchronicity filled with loving compassion. The vet at the clinic was one of the vets from years ago that had been his regular vet at the previous clinic. She remembered Tucker and had so much love and gentle compassion to give him and to give to my family. We got to sit outside on a blanket near the marsh and just take our time. And we talked until we were ready. I think we talked for about 45 minutes. The vet just sat there with us, and we told stories, funny stories about our little dog, and you know how special it is to have a four-legged, fuzzy member of your family? Well, Tucker was really comfortable and relaxed, and it was peaceful, and it was sad, and it was bittersweet, and it was the right time, and I did not should myself, and that felt so good. I'm reminded by my wonderful old, sick, and now gone little dog about Siddhartha Gautama, before he even had an inkling that he was going to embark on the life quest of enlightenment and to seek to find the end to all of our suffering, aging, sickness, and death. He lived his sheltered early life, free from witnessing elderly feebleness, sickness, and death. When he left the palace gates, he saw these events of suffering, and it was completely new and disturbing to him. You know, he gave all that sheltered, wonderful, luxurious life up. He gave it up, his life as a prince, as a future king, as a husband, a father. He gave all of it up. And fast forward to here, we get to sit in this beautiful, peaceful temple with our Sangha family because he literally chose that bumpy road and to find a way to peacefully live with it, with life, with suffering, and to help us. And he reached enlightenment, and he paved the way for all of us. Well, life is indeed a bumpy road. And in those bumpy parts, I have to remind myself about a couple of Buddhism basics. Impermanence. Life is temporary. Everything is temporary. I think I have a bit of a double standard when it comes to impermanence. When a situation is not satisfactory, in other words, something's going on in my life that sucks, I take comfort knowing that things will not stay the same. It's going to change, I tell myself. Hang on, this is temporary. But when things are going really good, I don't want them to change. I want permanence. Trevor Boehm, in his blog post titled Why Understanding the Law of Impermanence Helps in Tough Times, writes about how the law of impermanence can ease us through times of transition and pain. He says that the better we understand impermanence, the better understanding we will have of the world we live in and the situations we find ourselves walking and working through. This too shall pass, and it will pass. This goes on for the good times as well as the bad times. Nothing is outside the law of impermanence. So I think we better make sure we're enjoying the good, as well as taking comfort when things aren't going so good. Another Buddhism basic, non-attachment. A deep and fearless understanding of impermanence helps to free us from attachments. If we deeply understand that change is inevitable and life must end, when it does, we need to also know that the pain of a loss will also come to an end, or at least ease up in time. If we are practicing the understanding of impermanence and non-attachment, maybe we can give ourselves a break and stop poking around in our minds about all the should-haves. Knowing and accepting that life is a bumpy road and that everything is impermanent and always changing helps me to remember to practice non-attachment. And this is definitely something to practice. We are human. We are not going to get this perfect, so we get to keep practicing. The law of impermanence brings you comfort. It allows you to breathe deeper, knowing that everything must come to pass, including yourself. Getting stronger is not all about meeting life with force, but sometimes leaning the other way, letting life work its magic, and even if it is painful to us in the moment. Once again, please join me in aspiration. We take refuge in Amida Buddha, whose wisdom and compassion is so complete that we are known and accepted just as we are. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer. You made us think a whole lot. For those of us who have animals, I'm sure we've all felt the same way that you did when you lost your. And of course, about all the activities that you've gone to, we feel the same way. Some of us are not very good at that. Some of us say, well, we need to improve ourselves for this. But thank you very much. If you're able to, please stand for the Gatha. Listen to his voice in this Praises of the Buddha book. Okay, on page, I'm sorry, on page 92. Continue to stand for the Nembutsu in the Jodo Shinshu service book on page 135.
Surrounds all people and all forms of life with infinite wisdom and compassion, particularly to those who are suffering and in sorrow, to those in doubt, in ignorance, and in delusion. Amid the Buddha sends forth oceans of wisdom, compassion, mercy, and love. Namo Amida Butsu.
Please be seated. We'll now have an announcement by our president, Mr. Dennis Tashiro.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. especially because today we're showing our gratitude to Reverend Saul. Thank you for your dedication to the Dharma and providing the Windward Buddhist Temple Sangha with your spiritual leadership and guidance. Thank you also to the CMLAs, Cookie, who led the service. Jan had the beautiful, touching message. Shirley for being the MC. Prudence was our greeter. Cynthia prepared the altar, even made the bupan, the little rice offerings up there. Thank you also to Lisa and to Ryan. Our fall food drive to benefit the Hawaii Food Bank started today. There are boxes set up outside the office. The food drive will end November 17th. Your generous donations of non-perishable food will be greatly appreciated. After refreshments today, Prudence will be leading the group to pack women's period care kits that will be given to the My Movement Hawaii, who provides for homeless women and girls. Then after all that, today is temple cleanup. So we appreciate whoever can stay to help, sweeping, mopping, little dusting, and so on. Next Saturday night is our family dinner and movie night. The movie will be Inside Out 2. Dinner is at 5:30 and the movie will start at 6:30. If your family, children and grandchildren might be interested in joining us, please sign up. And or let me know by Wednesday so that we can order the right amount of food. There'll be like chicken, green salad, pizza, and popcorn. So please sign up. Next Sunday will be our monthly remembrance service. If you would like to remember a loved one who passed away in the month of October of any year, you may do so during the remembrance service. We'll have a sign-up sheet so you can add the name of your loved ones on the sheet. And if you want to, if you have a nice picture of that person, you're welcome to bring it and we can place it up here. Reverend Saul will be leading the service and providing the Dharma message. I don't know if you can see this. These are cupcakes. These are made by the United Junior YBA of Honolulu as a fundraiser. I understand they made over 100 of these. Looks too much work. But it looks very delicious. It's $5 a bag. Please be generous, cash or check payable to United Junior YBA of Honolulu. Proceeds will go to their convention expenses and Hawaii Buddhist Youth Month charity, Hawaiian Humane Society. How appropriate. Tucker would like that. Okay, any other messages, announcements? If not, it's time to eat. We'll have the words of thanksgiving up on the board or otherwise on page 126 of the Red Service Book. We are truly grateful for this wonderful food, a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us remember Amida Buddha's compassion, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu. Thank you.